for the sheer scope of grief and wasted human potential, we have a moral obligation to understand the ultimate reasons why we destroy one another.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my guest series. I'm Podcast Jay, and today I have a very special guest on today's show. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm George, or Oak if you want to call me by my MC name, but yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Do you still go by Phil?
Yeah, you can call me whatever. Phil is probably my street cred name that I've had since I was a child, so that's the best name to call me.
I always knew to call you Phil because there was two Georges in your friendship group.
Yeah, the thing is as well, like, sometimes when people call me George, I'm like, that's not my name, bro.
Like that song.
Yeah.
That's not my name.
Some people, like, for years as well, didn't actually know my name was George. They're so used to calling me Phil. It was just like, what, your name's actually George? And I'm like, yeah. Is that there? Did you know?
That is funny. So, George, on today's show, I thought it'd be really important to talk about the things you're working on at the moment.
Yeah.
You've always been a very creative person.
I have.
I find you very inspiring. And you're very open-minded as well. You're always open to talk about many different topics.
Yeah, I am. I just, the thing is, with life as well, I just think there's no sort of limits to set yourself. I was just literally writing something in my car then about how, like, your spirit sort of says stuff to you sometimes. I mean, I call it my spirit or whatever, but your like mental stuff tells you to do stuff sometimes, and then it's just do it. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't do it when your mind thinks about it, you sort of just give up on that idea, and it sort of goes away. Half the time, it is your ego as well that's just sort of putting some resilience on it. So people are scared to change. That's what it is.
I'm terrified of change.
Yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, I just don't like being complacent with who I am. I think there's always more to learn. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I think this is something kids should be taught in school, man. Like, if they got taught about their mindfulness and their, like, how to think properly, I think people will be a lot happier in life.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But
I think I've only learned in the last couple of years.
I have as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Things to be self-aware of.
Yeah,
and it's taken me at least a year to actually be slightly less mental.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there, bro. 2 years ago, when I'd be down the pub, mate, I wasn't. Now I am now. Trust me. I was a mess. yeah, literally, bro. But I am proud of myself for getting me where I am, because obviously, maybe 2-3 years ago, like, I wasn't in a good place. Not bad, but it just wasn't where I wanted to be. And it's one of them things, like, you wake up sometimes, you're like, I don't like myself, man. I don't like who I am. But that's where your mind's telling you to do something.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when you feel like that, that's your mind or spirit or soul, whatever you want to call it, is trying to coax you to get out of that, and you've got to find something, like, explore stuff. Do you know what I mean? I always say it because I cut hair. Every day I'm almost like a daily therapist, and I do like to talk about topics that aren't really like, oh, did you watch football last night, or do you know what I mean? So I like to...
Do you think you can read people quite well?
Yeah, massively, yeah. Like, I can definitely engage with some people's mindset. Like, it's quite weird, to be fair, because as much as someone wouldn't like to admit their own faults, I could definitely see it and then sort of tell them about that in a nice manner. I'm not gonna
yeah, you got issues to fix.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? No. So I don't know, I just like to make people feel better, innit? Like, not like I'm trying to do it in a mad way.
It's just a natural thing.
Yeah, like, people should realistically recognise their own faults and where to go right, and that's what I mean about teaching kids. Like, I've always said, if you can teach kids from meditation from a young age, they come up so much better growing up. Absolutely. With a better mindset. So I've wrote about that before, ages ago. That was probably one of the first things I wrote about.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really good, though. I mean, I personally am not very good at meditation.
It's a challenge.
When I first tried to do it, I was having, like, panic attacks every day.
Yeah.
And I think it was actually Alex that sat me down and was like, you need to meditate. Let's try and do it together. And I had a panic attack.
Yeah, the thing is as well, like,
I weren't ready for it.
With meditation, I feel like I always talk about your ego and stuff like that, and resilience. Like, when you are doing something that you find hard, it's because you need to overcome that before you can feel the way you want to feel.
Yeah.
Like, when you struggle at doing something, it is your own. It's like yourself coming out of a shell, and this is what the ego doesn't want.
Yeah.
Like, ego is just like, no, stay where you are.
You keep that character.
Yeah, and it's just, that's when you don't grow, innit? So it's definitely good to have challenges. This is why I always set myself stuff. Like, I mean, last year with my clothing brand, I was in Mexico with my missus and my family, and I was laying there, and it was a rainy day, and I was just like, I was scrolling through size, and I was just like, these clothes are dead. I was just like, I can do something better than this. So because I said that, I was just like, right, I have to do that now.
Yeah.
So literally, I was like, what should I call it? I was just like writing loads of different names down. I was doing loads of different stuff, and I just come up with Oke, spelled OKE. And then later on, just decided to call that my name for artist as well as my artist name. I didn't really know what else to call myself.
I think it's very unique though.
I like Oke.
I don't know anyone else that's called it.
Yeah, it's simple. It's like, I understand with graphic design as well, like, you're better off having a short name because of the designs that you can do with it. It's very like, well, you can do it quite small and compact, if you know what I mean. Yeah, literally, yeah. So it's just quick, so it's so much better. But I did think of Oke purely because when I did biking, I'm always down the woods. I'm around wood.
Yeah.
Oke, so that was just where the inspiration comes from, innit? Like,
that's actually really good.
So when I started that
Was
clothing,
it quite easy to decide on what you wanted to call it? Because I really struggle with naming stuff.
I tend to feed off a lot of people's judgment. Not necessarily judgment, but I mean, like, I will always show people stuff, or I will either tell someone, like my missus. My missus is really, really good at helping me with stuff like that. Like, she will definitely just be like, no, that's dead. Do you know what I mean?
Better to be with someone honest.
Yeah, and I trust her. I literally, innit? And I trust her opinion more than anything. So that's quite nice. But I always do like little mock-ups of different designs and stuff like that. And then like, this is probably one of my third or fourth logo designs that I did. I've always liked like Japanese sort of orientation stuff, hence all my tattoos.
Yeah. But
I mean, this has got nothing to do with Japanese, but one of my first logos was literally like just Japanese, right? And it didn't even say Oke. It was just, I think it means bucket in Japanese, but who knows?
Still original, is it not?
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, bucket.
Yeah, you can bank that one for your next business idea.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, just a little logo on the back with Oke and a bucket in it. Yeah.
At the end of the episode, you should show the back of your t-shirt as well.
Yeah, I will. I can get up and do a spin now, but we'll leave it to the end. Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll lose the comfort on the beanbag.
Yeah, literally.
No, that's it's really good.
Yeah, so clothing was one of the things that I just like design. I think because I did graphic design in college, I didn't finish it. I literally just dropped out after like, I think 2 years or a year and a half. But
that's a long time to stay though. You must have got a lot of knowledge from it.
I did, yeah. So what I said to my tutor at the end, like, I said to him, I was like, look, I'm not gonna lie, like, I learnt a lot of stuff in school because my media teacher taught me how to use Photoshop and Illustrator, and then I just adapted that at home. Mm-hmm. So I went to college with a sort of like a set of skill already, and then I felt while I was there I didn't really learn too much. I thought when I was going there I'd learn how to do like how to properly utilize the software and how to do all these shortcuts and how to do it, but it wasn't that. It was like, go and research about this guy and then tell me why he did it, and then
probably doing stuff you'd done before.
Yeah, and then like replicate like something that he did. I think Andy Warhol was one of them, like a tin of beans or something, and you had to like redo it. But I did that in like GCSE art, bruv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, nah, I'm not.
Something I find quite strange about college is that a lot of the subjects we pick in GCSEs are like the subjects people pick in college. So you think you're going into something at like level 2, like the next level, but it's actually the level you might have already done. Yeah,
and it to be fair, like, some people aren't at that level and they do need that like extra bit of help, but it's not.
Every school specialises in different things.
Yeah, 100%. I just feel like I don't wait for stuff. Like, if I want to do something, I'll just learn it, and then I'll just take the time to actually dedicate myself and do that. I mean, not everyone has that mindset. I'm not like, it's very hard to be like that. I think that is just a personality trait I have. I don't know whether you want to call it ADHD or what, but I don't like labels or anything like that. I
call it drive.
Drive, yeah. Charisma and drive. That's the good one, yeah. So, yeah, that's literally it. But, yeah, clothing was something that I like to do after...
And it's all like quite comfy stuff as well.
Yeah, so I basically...
It's suitable for a lot of people.
Like when I've always learnt in art and in media, like, you have to have a target audience, and I knew that my target audience was for like skaters, bikers. Hence why I'm doing biking. So I thought, let me design some tees for those guys. And I just love wearing oversized stuff. Like, pretty much I only wear my own t-shirts now, apart from Nike SB. Shout out to Nike SB. But yeah, that's...
We want an ad for that.
Yeah. Pay me. But yeah, like, I just really like oversized. So I did a lot of research into the t-shirt templates. So these are Stanley Stella templates. I think I bought like 3 or 4 different t-shirts, just blanks, and then I've put them on how they felt. Like this has probably been washed like 30-40 times and it's still pretty black.
It is. It hasn't faded.
Yeah, this is it. So this is what I wanted. I wanted myself to be able to pick out a top and be like, yeah, I want to wear my top, and I want someone else to have that. Like, I want someone to look in their wardrobe and be like, that's the best fit, I'm picking that one.
Yeah,
we all
this
have
is my best top.
Yeah, like we all have a top that we just love the fit of.
Yeah.
And like just love it, because I'm happy to just wear a blank t-shirt as long as it fits me nicely.
Yeah, I'm the same.
That was the most important thing for me when I first started it, and then the designs just came over. Like, all my designs that I do are literally like just trippy shit. Like, it would be like a frog running with like a mushroom, or like it would be like, well, I've got this one where it's like a frog catching like an acid tab, and it's like,
that's wicked.
Billy, are you time tripping again?
Shout out D&B.
Shout out to the D&B. Yeah, literally. I got a lot of shouts at Boomtown for that. Some people coming up to me like, yo, that top's hard, bro. I was just like, yeah. Buy it.
You should get your mates to like film you whenever you go to like a show.
Yeah, I need to. So this Saturday, like, I'm doing a show, like I just said, to be fair, like, I'm doing a show with Sam Garve. That'll be my first performance, so it'll be a bit bum tickly.
Exciting.
Yeah, like, I'm a bit nervous, but I'm excited. Like, more optimistic than anything.
But it's kind of like with this sort of stuff, like, I always feel anxious turning on the camera, but once we start talking, I forget.
It's chill.
And it's like, once you get into it, you're fine.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like, me and you have known each other for a little while now, so it's not.
You used to work with my mum as well.
Yeah, good old Debbie. Yeah, shout out to Debbie. Yeah, no, that was in Cosgrove pub, wasn't it? Yeah, she was sound, mate. Me and her were like best friends at work, to be fair. She's still
did the work, mum.
Yeah, she's so sound. Yeah, she's a bit of a nutter, but yeah,
she is.
Sound.
She ain't got blue hair no more.
Has she not?
No.
What colour is it now?
I think it's natural now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's going strange.
She'll probably go back to blue at some point.
Yeah.
She always does.
No,
she's been like every colour.
You
My
know, sister's like that. I think she's got like strawberry pink hair at the moment, but it actually looks really nice. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Also, I remember in school you used to do a lot of the dancing.
Yes,
do you still do that?
No, I don't do dancing. This is one of my things that I regret, man. Like, so when I was growing up, I bare wanted to be in performing arts. I wanted to go like London and do like all the acting and London arts and like all the dancing. It's one of my things that I always think back and think, oh, what would I do if I was doing that, if I did that? Do you know what I mean? Like, how would I be now? But I don't dance no more, although I can bust a couple shapes and that, but I'm nowhere near as good as I used to be. I think
with practice, though, you could always...
Oh, yeah, that's with anything, though, isn't it? Like, just spending a bit of time doing it. There's a guy called Dylan Maisie that I grew up with. He's a phenomenal dancer, man. He's, like, insane at dancing.
Was he at our school as well?
Yeah.
You used to both do the performances on stage flip off the stage.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you not remember an assembly when it was like a whole school assembly and I was doing, like, the decks and he was spinning, like, caps on my fingers
and that? I remember.
So funny, bro. Oh, school days were jokes. We used to, like, get the... ask the teachers if we could, like have the assembly hall to ourselves. We just get these fat speakers in there and just dance. Like, it's chill.
Did they ever let you?
Yeah, because they knew that we was doing it for like the end of year like assembly stuff, so they were just like calm with it. So
nice.
We did piss around in there before. Though, like, do you remember the little stage bit where like you could go and hide around the corner? And
the trap door.
Yeah. We used to just sit around there, bro.
Could hide from all your lessons in there.
Yeah, literally.
Not that I would do that.
Yeah,
sometimes I did.
I did that. I was like, I ain't getting a lesson. No.
It was weird though because we had this huge stage, but they didn't push drama that much in our school. Which was like such a waste because we had such good resources for it.
Yeah, we did. And the actual drama room was sick. Like I remember Mr. Johnson. Was you there when Mr. Johnson was there? He was my favourite.
Yeah, I think he left in like when I was in year 8 or 9.
Yeah, he went to a private school. Someone told me he wears these like red silky like robes and like velvety robes.
Does he?
I was just like, bad boy. I was like, come on, Johnson.
He was such a nice teacher.
He was my favourite one, honestly. Like I got so upset when he left because he proper provoked that sort of like coming out of my shell in me. Coming out of my shell in me, is that right? Yeah. But I came out of my shell. Yeah, literally, yeah. So he was like, stop thinking about stuff, mate. He was like, you're good at it, just do it. Do you know what I mean? Swallow it.
I got way too much tea in my mouth for a second. And it's getting colder, so it starts making me gag a bit when it gets cold. I don't like cold tea.
It makes me gag.
That's the thumbnail.
Yeah. The gagging podcast.
That's what you call it. Gagging for it.
I'm gagging.
I think I put.
That's not a bad name, bro.
Do you know what? I've actually
Jay's
wanted
gagging.
to come up with a really funny name, because like one of mine and Alex's favourite podcasts is like "Help I Sexted My Boss."
Oh, okay.
It's not anything relevant to that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's so funny.
Thing is,
though.
I wouldn't even know where to start a podcast name. Like I said to you the other day, I did like an acronym, but I think that's kind of cheesy still.
It's a good idea, but it's like, is it clickbait enough?
Yeah, it's true. It's going to be a bit long, isn't it?
Yeah. I found sometimes it's the ones with the shock value, like that help us sexted or call her daddy.
Oh, I love that podcast.
Call her daddy.
Yeah.
Call her daddy, you know what I mean?
One of the
You really
biggest
go-
podcasts in the world is called Call Her Daddy.
So
That's the
that-
first one I ever listened to.
Yeah.
And it was like these two girls from America who were like dating, like everyone, and talking about all their stories because they were just locked in their house for lockdown. So they're talking about all these like stories, and they're like, guys, you're shit in bed, I'm going to tell you how to do it. And they're just giving everyone all the tea, all the advice. And then they fell out like a year later.
I swear.
So I ended up not listening. Like, it's still a decent podcast, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a bit
See,
not
I see
the same.
one on like TikTok or Instagram now. It's like they're in like a little pink background with like hair salon stuff in there. I can't remember what it's
Yeah,
called, but
I don't know
that
what
one's
that's
kinda
called, but I
quirky.
have seen that.
That one's kind of quirky. I think that's more about sexual stuff as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing is, those podcasts are really interesting because so many people don't talk to their friends about these things, or they don't, or I think it's more in men than women, because with girls we tend to talk about details,
Yeah,
whereas
yeah,
guys
yeah.
it's like, yeah, I've been there.
Did this, did that. That's about it, really. Yeah. That'd be me if I was stoned. I'd be like, literally.
But I definitely think like if people spoke about things more, everyone would be a lot more emotionally intelligent
Yeah,
about
massively.
things.
I always think it's better to talk about stuff, even if it's good or bad. Do you know
You
what I
learn
mean?
a
Like,
lot when you talk about stuff.
massively about yourself and other people. Like if you're talking to someone you think that you trust and they're not really like,
And they start slagging everyone off.
yeah, or like sometimes someone can be like, oh, you'll be alright, bro, just shut up. Do you know what I mean? That's not really what you need sometimes, isn't it? Like,
No, I don't think anyone ever needs that at any point in time.
Nah. This is why I try and be a lot sentimental about stuff, because I do understand how the mind works, and I probably, because when I did shrooms, I did that many, that I had this massive like ego death. Like I always talk about it at work, to be fair, but I probably shouldn't talk about it at work. But I did like a fuck ton of shrooms one time, and I had like this massive like breakthrough, and it was like, it's like I died, and then someone gifted me my life back, and the clarity that I felt after that was unbelievable. And it like you realise like small things that you worry about like really don't matter. Like tiny things like timescales of like rushing around, or like oh, do I put this out? Like when I put my first song out, or my first freestyle that I did on my Instagram for it was a.
Is that the 97?
Nah, so I'd done a couple ones before that, so I wouldn't have made 97 if I didn't do the ones I did. So there was a competition on Instagram, I can't remember who it was for Verbs, it was a Verb song, and basically they was just like, right, this is the instrumental, I want you to do like a 16 bar. Stupidly enough, I did a 32 bar, so they disqualified me, but I was like, yeah, I was just like, come on man, it was so yeah,
take your
literally,
favourite
I was
part.
just like, take the bit on the end, like, come on. But nah, so I did that, and that was like, for me, that was like overcoming something, like talking about, like, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have put any music out, and that's what really pushed it. Like, I really felt like music is something that I like to do. I've been doing it for a long while, whether it's just listening to music in my car and then spitting bars over it, or writing bars. I've been doing it for about 3 or 4, well, maybe 4 or 5 years, to be fair. But it was only maybe last year and this year that I started to actually take it seriously. So when I put that out, I got nothing but good responses. Like people that I didn't even expect to message me, like kids from like school, like years back, that are messaging me that I don't even speak to.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, right, you've actually gone out of your way to say something good. Like you didn't need to say anything at all. Do you know what I mean? So that was a real nice accomplishment for me. But yeah, it just drove me to do more, innit? So it was almost like a vulnerability for me. Like I find it's with my singing as well. I've not yet put my singing out, but I will do soon. But that's something that is like more of a vulnerability for me, because it's a bit more deeper and it's a bit more personal, if you know what I mean. Not necessarily personal, but it's just, I don't know, it's just a different side of my vocals or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's a bit scary to put out sometimes. But the second that you do it, it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, once you've done it once, it's easier to put more out.
Yeah, literally.
It's like the
calm.
first time is always the hardest.
Yeah, trust.
I was the same when I was first doing the podcast. Like before I filmed it and I did my first series, I recorded like 5 episodes and I was like, right, I'm just gonna release them all at the same time. So that's exactly what I did.
What made you start it?
I just talk for fucking England, to
Yeah,
be honest.
you like
Like,
me then.
I talk to everyone, like all the time.
Alex is like, you get on a
Strangers.
podcast.
He was part of the reason.
Yeah,
he
nah.
said to me, you
That's
should
what you
start
need
a
sometimes,
podcast.
like,
And I was
external
like,
influences.
what's a podcast?
Yeah.
And he's like, start listening to them. So I downloaded, it's going to sound so bad now. I downloaded Spotify because I didn't even have it. I used SoundCloud. And then I started like
What year
listening
are you
to them.
No. To be fair, I think Spotify was out there.
If you talk to yourself and overshare just as much as I do, you're probably thinking, I should start a podcast. I absolutely love having a podcast. I get to meet great guests and get to know people on such an intimate level. And even with my solo episodes, I can treat it just like a diary. You're probably freaking out thinking, how do I get started? Who's going to help me? What do I need? Where am I going to put it? How do I do this? How do I do that? I was just as stressed as this. You can use equipment you already have. All you really need is a mic and something to record it on. And you'll need to find a platform to be able to upload your podcast. Podcasting is the best thing right now. Get your personality out there. Get talking. It's inexpensive and it's so easy to do. I don't mind teaching you how to do it, but Buzzsprout is the best at teaching you everything you need to know and all the tools you need to use. You'll get a professional looking website, which is a bonus, that also displays all the different directories where you can listen to your podcast. That includes Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all the major directories that you would want to upload it to. You can also create short clips, audios to put into websites, and also other audio clips you want to upload onto like social media, which is really good for promoting the podcast. I've had a ton of people that click through onto my podcast just from those audio clips I have uploaded in the past. You get tons and tons of guides and information and advice on how to make your podcast successful. And you get detailed analytics so you can find out where is listening the most, what's the most listened to episode. And you also get encouragements of little milestones, which I find motivating. I get little medals. Use the link in the show notes to get $20 credit if you sign up for a paid plan. Using my link helps support my podcast and also gives you $20 credit. So choose Buzzsprout. It is the easiest way to get started. I'm actually 98.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't even use Spotify because apparently even if you pay for it at the time, you still got ads. So I was like, what's the point?
Oh, really?
I don't know if it's the same now because I don't pay
think
for
it is now, like, because you...
If you pay for it, you don't get ads.
Yeah, no, if you pay... It's like SoundCloud, isn't it? Like, if you pay for SoundCloud... I just see that SoundCloud did this new one for, like, artists as well, like, artist SoundCloud, but I've done it, and I really don't know what it does.
I don't know what it does. I pay for...
Unlimited sort of space when you upload.
Yeah.
Analytics. They used to do like they'd pay you.
Oh, that's it. It shows
Spotify.
you like stats and like insights to your
like that.
views and stuff. Yeah, I know they do a thing as well, like where you can. Not that I've used it, but you can do like if you upload a song to it, they can do like a mastering version for you.
Yeah.
They do that on a podcast website as well, but I
Yeah.
just opt out. I'm not
Yeah.
paying more. I'll do it
Nah.
myself.
I had to
Let it
use.
sound rough.
Yeah, the thing is, isn't it? Some things sound a bit better when it's raw, innit? So it's nice.
Yeah, that's why people go to live performances.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you've got such a more in-depth, like raw feeling from it.
Mhm.
I just see Maverick Sabre actually. Not too
Really?
long ago. Yeah, he's one of my favourite like male singers.
He is sick.
Yeah, I love Maverick Sabre, innit? Like he literally, his voice and when he's singing is just sick, mate. Like,
Where'd you see him?
in Birmingham, innit? So I went Birmingham. What's it called? I was going to say International, but it's definitely not that. It's not the O2. It's a different one.
It probably is called the International. What was that stadium you did in Birmingham called?
It's the one like next to a pub. Anyway, yeah, I went there, but that was decent. It's like O2 Academy thing, sort of thing. But anyway, yeah. So I see him, and that was sick, mate. So I was there singing in the crowd, singing my lungs out as you do.
Oh.
But yeah, he's another person that, like, I wouldn't say I base my singing off him, but he definitely helped me to, like, sing.
Inspires you.
Yeah, like his tone of voice and like his is very similar to how I sing. You know what I mean, so it's nice. Like I can belt out his vocals, and I'm with him in the background. It's like, oh, I sound actually nice.
Yeah. If I turn him up loud enough in the car, I do the same thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
think
yeah,
I
yeah.
sound good, but I actually don't.
I find it funny. 'Cause,
I've been there, done that, tried to record myself. I'm like, fuck it.
yeah. I'll always whack his songs in my car, and I'll be singing along to it. My missus will be singing with me. I'm like, because you're kind of killing the vibe.
He does that to me.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, Jay.
It reminds me of the scene out of Step Brothers. You know where he's singing that note? You didn't hit that note right.
Who sings this? I'll do that way.
yeah, literally. Yeah,
It would be nice to sing though.
Yeah. I love singing.
I'd have
innit?
a bit better idea of what I wanted to do in my life if I could sing, because I sing it all the time.
Yeah, they
just
say as well,
can't.
like singing like brings out mad endorphins in your body, innit? I think that's the word, or
Yeah, it
dopamine
makes
or whatever.
sense.
But like when you actually start singing, it can make you like, if you just sing, even if you're rubbish at singing, like just sing for like 10 minutes a day or whatever, and it just makes you feel better, innit? So,
Yeah, I love putting like my old favourite musicians, I don't know, artists on, listen to their
Oh,
old
mate, I always
albums,
listen
singing
to
it
old
out.
stuff, man. I remember when I was a kid, I used to sing Choir Boy.
What's that?
It was like literally Choir Boy, like.
Oh, choir.
Yeah,
I thought you were like Quiet Boy. I was like, who's that?
There was like when I was like maybe like 8, I used to sit in front of like these fat computer screens. Remember like they looked like what they were?
With the
back
big boxes on the back.
Mate, there was like massive like squares, mate. I sat there trying to find these Choir Boy things because my voice was so high pitched. I was like la 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 la. It was so
Paid
funny.
off though. Now you're singing.
Made my mum shed a tear in that.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Big up, mumsy. Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could sing.
Yeah.
It would be so good.
No, I do enjoy it, man. But yeah, I think some of my inspirations come from that. I know, like rapping, Eminem taught me a lot of stuff about
He's
rap.
also sick.
His storytelling was probably like what made me captivated by him. Like there was nothing to leave out, I found, and I just as an 8-year-old, 10-year-old boy, I was like, I shouldn't be listening to this, and I'm loving it. Do you know what I mean? But my cousin Lee introduced me to him. But it's something that I wrote in my journal the other day because of that book that I was saying about The Way of the Artist. Good book if anyone wants to read it. Very good book.
I've been recommended.
Yeah, very good book. If you want to do anything creative or anything to bring you out of your shell or just to understand yourself a little bit, The Way of the Artist is a really, really good book. It's like first half of it is like a reading page, like reading section, and then the second half of it is like a 12-week course that you can do.
It's so sick.
Basically, it's like you write 3 pages every single day. You can do more than that. I mean, I sat there the other night, I wrote like 8 pages, like of just notes about like my auntie and things that she used to do for me. But if I didn't write that, I wouldn't have ever thought of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but the idea with it is like you write for 12 weeks and then you don't read back on anything while you write it. You do at the end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you've got this whole like timeline almost of your things, but like in the book it will say like write 3 of your enemies like back in the day and why they were your enemies and what they did to you in detail, or like who's your heroes or champions. And
I
you
had
write-
a book a bit like that.
Yeah,
It was
it's-
called what was that little blue book I had?
It was like a diary thing, yeah, but a bit more.
It was called, like-
prompting of Joe, how you-
Yeah, I think it was called Burn After Reading or something like that.
yeah.
It was basically like the modern day version of a burn book.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would fill out everything about your life, like you could go back to it,
And
it
then
literally says you just fill out where you want, whenever you want.
Yeah.
So there's like lists of things you could just tick, there's things you can fill out, and it
Yeah.
was questions as like private as that, and I would fill loads of it out and then I would just rub it out and redo it.
Because it unlocks that part of the brain that you might not be necessarily thinking about, and then you kind of go down that channel of
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah, it's similar with like
Stuff.
yeah, literally, bro. Like it's similar with like writing lyrics as well. Like there's this book called Bird by Bird that I was reading. I've literally read like 4 books this year already. Like if you told me this last year, I'd have been like, piss off, mate. I ain't reading a book. Like I ain't reading.
I only
that.
started reading last year.
Yeah, but I find it so good. Like my missus definitely helped me with that. Like she constantly reads books, so it's like it's nice that we can just sit there and just read.
Yeah.
Normally I'd like sit there and I'd be like imitating what she's reading, but it's not the bit that she's reading. So she's like, "Can you shut up."
Making
But,
me lose my
yeah,
section.
now she does it to me. So she got her own.
You
back
regret
on
that
it.
now.
Yeah. But Yeah, nah, like in the book it says like you might write 10 lines and then like you'll be like, right, this is shit, this is shit, this is shit, but then you might get something good. But if you didn't write those 10 lines prior to that, you wouldn't have ever got there.
Yeah.
Like, which is mad. Like, yeah, so you can do that with a lot of stuff, bro. Like, literally, like try anything and it's just you're gonna struggle. And this is the thing I was talking about with resilience. Like that is the struggle that you need to overcome to become the person you want. And
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is really good book. So The Way of the Artist, very good book.
It does sound really good. I want to read it. But is it quite a thick one?
No, it's like 280 pages, I think. Maybe a bit more than that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
The book that is it a picture book?
I don't think it's got.
Can I colour it in?
It's got diagrams in there. Yeah, I ain't getting that, bro.
Yeah, I got back into reading last year
Where's
when
the dinosaur, bro?
I got back into reading last year when I started reading Vex King's Good Vibes, Good Life.
Yeah.
And now I'm in the. I mean, I still haven't finished reading it because I've lacked a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm also reading his Healing is the New High.
All right.
So like the first book.
Do you know the author?
Vex King.
Oh, Vex King. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a really, really good way of like putting your mind into a better positive light.
Yeah.
Into a better perspective. And he also like, he's like, you know, everyone's anxious. Everyone feels a certain way about things, but it's definitely worth a good read. And it's very quick and easy to read if you sit there and get right into a book, whereas I get really distracted.
I think it depends on the author as well sometimes. Like there's books where I'll read where I'm like really not engaging with it because of the words that are used or like the way that they explain stuff isn't really resonating with me. But like there's a lot of books that I have read where I've just like read like 3/4 of it or a quarter of it or half of it and I'll just be like, right, no, I'm not reading anymore.
Yeah, no,
And
I get you.
I think this is what I struggled with at school as well. Like in school I never read, like I didn't read anything. Like I didn't want to. Like,
I read one book.
For fuck's sake.
No, I read that one.
Yeah.
I didn't read the other one though, and then one of my English exams I did well in, and I got accused of cheating because they were like, "How could you have done well if you didn't even?"
Then. I was just like, I didn't even know that was a grade.
They were like, "How did you manage to get that grade?" I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah. I don't even know what I didn't. I think I got a B in English. I don't know how. I used to literally get sent out every class. I was that kid on the window, like blowing massive like cheeks on the window. Like,
School's just not good environment for everyone.
Nah, like
the classes are too big.
They are
way too big. Why is there 30 people in a classroom? I don't
too
like it,
much, man.
I don't like it.
I think teachers like education system needs to be funded more, man. Like if you fund teachers and actually get them motivated to teach kids and actually put more funding into like smaller classes.
Yeah, they don't get paid that much.
Nah, literally, like they're on.
When we were younger, we used to think, "Oh, they get paid; it don't matter." But now I'm like, I would not do that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be a teacher, innit? Because like, as much as I'll sit here and say like, "Oh, they should teach kids this and they should teach kids that," like, you are dealing with someone that like their parents might not be like that, like teaching them that well or giving them the manners they need, and then you're dealing with that on a daily basis.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, they go
undisciplined kids.
Yeah, and it's like it's easy to say like, oh, they should be taught this way and they should be taught this way, but like when you actually put it in practicality, like this kid's like a little prick.
And these days, the kids are worse.
Oh mate,
we thought we were bad.
Yeah, mate. Like kids now are like scary, bro.
Yeah,
like,
they got no respect, no fear.
Nah, when I was a kid, bruv, I'd like never want to talk to anyone older like badly, and now it's just like you've got a kid like, what, bruv? And
yeah.
Like, oh shit.
It's all over the social media, just all of them violent to everyone.
Next thing you know, you got a fucking knife in your chest.
Yeah.
Like, it's
so bad.
It literally is.
Well, remember when we were younger, I don't think knife crime is as bad as it is now.
No. At least we're not in America.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, at least we're not in America.
Yeah. That is so bad.
Atrocious, mate.
I would never send my kids to school. Ever.
Well, I've got some parents actually that come to me when in the shop. Like they've got home tutors, so they just teach their kids at home. Yeah. But it's how it used to be done. Like the education system, I think it was in like 1920s that it was introduced. But fuck that guy, because he did it. He made it to make people workers, not thinkers. This is why people are.
But then you need workers at the same time.
I've got this theory on it. To be fair, that it's kind of mad.
I think we do need workers, and there's a lot of people
that didn't even have a sip.
Oh, it'll be cold now. Do you like cold tea?
Not really, but I'm going to pretend that I love it.
But yeah, I just think that it's not right making everyone think it's normal for everyone to be a worker. Like everybody should be taught that there's that option that they can always go into working.
It's
but
hard.
if they want to pursue something creative, they should also have that side of things. Whereas in school, it's made very clear that even the creative people are just workers. And it's like, well, it's not the same actually. Once you're in that position, like, yes, you work hard. You probably work harder because you're working all hours of the clock. But at the same time, it's too much stress and stuff that's not relevant to your life that you're bringing home with you. And it's just, there's so many things I could go into about it.
I do think, like, now I'm a lot older and mature, I can look back on it and just see, like, yeah, school's not that great. School wasn't, like, it didn't teach me what I wanted to be taught, but, like, I've learnt enough from school and the education system where I now can just pick up a book and read what I want. I can go on, like, YouTube and learn what I want. I mean, YouTube's fantastic for that. Like, you can literally learn whatever you want. Like, there's online courses you can do. Like, there really is no excuse to not learn something that you want to learn. It's just, unfortunately, I think the system oppresses people's minds to the point where they don't have that drive. But this is where, like, you need to leave school and find that drive. But, like, use the school, innit? Like, educate yourself, do your thing, and then after that, then because you've got all this, like, mate, if you can do, like, maths and English, that's really all you need.
Yeah, you can do anything.
Like, boom, just literally go and teach yourself anything. Like, I didn't know how to use Photoshop and Illustrator until, like, I proper channeled it into me. Like, I didn't know how to do, like, music until, like, I learned how to do it or write, or do you know what I mean? It was stuff
just have to get the stuff and do it.
Yeah, literally, like, it's true, isn't it? Like, you just got to drive yourself. Like, if you want something, you just got to do it, man. Like, there's no like wrong or right way of doing it. As long as you're doing it in a way where it's just what fits you and suits you, it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah. I also find, like, I've just gone blank. All right, move on from that.
Brain fart.
Do you ever think like of something and then you go,
mate,
oh, where the fuck did that go?
When I was in the studio with Alex and Dale the other day, I just come up with a bar. I was like, fuck, what did I think? I should have written it down, man.
Oh, that is the worst.
Such an annoying thing, especially when you're trying to do it for someone as well. It's just like, shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's always like when you've got something ready and then you're like, it's gone.
Yeah, literally. It is.
No, I hate
Get
that.
The notes
Brain
out.
fart.
Get the notes out.
You should just always voice note yourself. I think that's what Alex does.
I do voice note sometimes. I've got this little recording thing in my car that I leave. So a lot of the times when I'm with my music, like a lot of times that I'm writing stuff, or like 97, I literally made that in my car driving to work.
That's wicked.
It was weird. Or like, I do get a lot of stuff. Like the other day, I just wrote the song that I was on about singing. Like I was on my lunch break, sat in my car, and funnily enough, I find that a lot of my inspiration with music comes from the actual track itself. So like, if I hear an instrumental that really sits well with me, it's weird, isn't it? Like these words just come at me like boom, 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 and I'm just writing it down and it flows. But like, if I put a beat on that, I can't really like.
It's not tickling those heartstrings.
It's not doing that for me, innit? And I'm like, God, you can do this, but you're not writing it. Do you know what I mean? And it just doesn't come out.
Yeah.
So music definitely has a massive inspirational guidance with me on with what I write with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So that's definitely true.
You've got to vibe with it. Exactly how
man.
your like soul is trying to connect to it.
100%.
Like I think I am massively inspired by music, like all the time. Any mood I'm in, I just put music on.
I think it
and it sort of carries my emotions because I get really like emotionally overwhelmed with things.
Yeah.
So I find if I have music on, it helps me sort of
just
diet
calm it
down.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Music's such a like. Oh mate, imagine if there was a world with no music. That would just be sad.
Shocking.
So sad. Like, probably, I'd say music is probably one of the greatest art forms there is, and then painting second. But it's just so like mad, especially with like the generations of music. I think one of my favorite eras of music, obviously 90s hip hop, but before that, even like 60s jazz and like funk music, man. Like James Brown is fucking big boy, mate.
Yeah.
Like absolutely proper sensational soul music, man. Like, and then a lot of music actually originated. Like, you'll find a lot of in hip hop, you've got a lot of samples that come from like 60s music, 70s music.
I've noticed that, like, not just in hip hop, but like a lot of other music.
Yeah, massively.
Because people on TikTok like to like call it out as if it's a bad thing.
I'm like, if you've heard something,
no, that's inspiration right 100%, there.
100%. This is it. Like, if you've had like a thought of saying, like, don't get me wrong, some people are going to sit there and be like, oh, you just copied this or you just copied that. But like, I did use some of it, 100%. But like, I've not. it's not like I've used the whole thing and just
No.
written word for word. It's like I might have just like took a 4-second clip out of it and then made my own.
And there's 8 billion people on this planet. Do you really think someone's not going to come up with it themselves after a certain amount of time?
Yeah.
Like, even if they haven't heard that song, they're probably going to come up with the same thing at some
100%.
point.
I mean, look at most artists now. Like, I'd say most mainstream artists now, they've probably got like a lot of regurgitated stuff from like early 2000s.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Do
That's
you know
the
what I
big
mean?
trend right
like,
now.
Bring You Flowers. I think, is it H or RD that
RD that did that one.
So you've got a lot of...
And then H did the Ashanti baby song.
Yeah. So this is what I mean. Like, it's not bad. Do you know what I mean? I think it's
as long as you're not ruining the track.
Nah.
Because I've heard a few TikTok tracks.
I think RD did, but I'm not gonna. I won't say it.
But I have heard a few things on like because I'm so bad on TikTok, I just scroll forever, so I find everything on there. But TikTok, I've seen a few things, and I'm like, could have done better with that.
I had to get off that, man. It was too much. I scroll.
It is a lot.
I like because I like to read and write now. Like, I catch myself scrolling because it's like little short snappy vids. I end up watching some like, I don't know, some like African kid building like a little mud hut, like for like 10 minutes or whatever, or just.
Yeah, and you're just hypnotised, like,
yeah,
what?
Like,
how are they doing
Literally,
that?
and I'm like, bro, what am I watching?
I watch stuff about people cleaning their rugs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's so filthy, look at it.
Have you seen those people that do those like tufting? Like, it's like rug making, where they can get like, I don't know, like a rug like this, and they'll have like sick patterns on it. So
No.
you get like, oh mate, it's so sick. So me and my missus want to actually start doing this. I said it to her like maybe like end of last year, like in November. But I've been seeing it on my Instagram a lot, and that's just something else that I want to dabble in with, like creative. But you can literally get these massive like square canvases with, and then get a tufting gun. You can like create these like sick artworks, and it's just like a
That's
carpet.
mad.
The whole idea with it is like when I get my house, I want to build like a little studio, and then I want the whole like walls, side, the flooring to just be like a square box of just like these cool like carpets.
Yeah.
It would look so sick. And
That
then
does sound
that's
sick.
like good soundproofing as well. So.
Yeah, that would be good soundproofing actually. You'll have to send me some videos like that, because I haven't seen none of that
Oh
yet.
no, I will do. There's so many on them, but they're actually so sick. Like you've got a lot of people doing like the MF Doom logos, or like Wu-Tang logos, or like, I don't know, you could literally do anything. Like, I could probably do my Oak stuff with it.
Yeah.
So I was going to do like Oak rugs, Oak music, and Oak clothing, but I need to get the stuff for that. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably like another
That's
project.
something that I do find hard when you get into that creative mindset, 'cause you're just like, right, I'm going to do all of this now. And then you're like, but which one should I do first?
My mind.
What order do I do it in?
Yeah, this is the problem that I have. Like, people say to me at work, like, bro, why don't you just do one thing and stick to it? I'm just like, bro, that's not how my mind works.
No,
like,
I'm too impatient for that.
Yeah, I'm so impulsive, and like, if I want to do something, I'll just do it. Like, there's no.
And things take time to like be as successful as you want them to be. So it's better off starting it early.
100%, man. This is what I was saying earlier as well. Like, you don't just start out being good. Like Drake didn't just randomly start making massively hit songs. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that. You got to work for it. But
Yeah.
I just think as well, like with creativity, like something my art teacher told me in school is that don't just think that you need to channel one thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can have multiple things on the go, and then like one thing might inspire you to do another thing, and then because you've done a little bit more on that, you can be like, oh, that would be cool to do in this one as well.
Yeah.
Or, do you know what I mean? Adapt it in some manner. But again, it's just like you need to dabble in a lot of things, I find. Well, for myself, I do anyway. Not everyone's like that. Some people are like hyper focused on one thing. I mean, if you've got autism or whatever, you're like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So you ain't doing nothing else but the maths.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. Sometimes I find it really, really hard to like be creative as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I feel like I've spent years of my life being so, I don't know what you call it, like
Shut
really
off to
hard. Yeah, like shut off to it. I worked in like for years for this company, and I was doing really well there, but like there was no progression left for me in this place.
Yeah.
And nothing I did was that creative. Everything I was doing, like I was doing a lot of the website stuff,
Yeah.
but I wasn't designing.
Yeah.
Everything else I was doing. So I was doing like the SEO and adding all the products
All the
on,
bullshit work.
and or pricing the stuff and doing all the shitty jobs.
The
but
jobs that no one else wants to do, but you're
yeah,
doing it.
yeah. But because I'd been there for so long, it was like I was in a position where I was like, no one else is trusted at this point. So it's like my boss trusted me to do all this stuff, and I was good at it. So I always stuck it out.
Yeah.
And then it just got to a point where I was like, I'm not going to progress anymore. I'm not earning the money I want to earn. I was on good money, but for what I was doing, I was not.
you're just not happy in that field though. This is the thing, like, it's good you spotted that and changed it, because some people just sit there and just get complacent with it and they go, I don't want to, I don't want to do anything, I'm just used to this now, so I'm just going to stay here and just do this,
and then
which
as
is
soon
bad.
and as soon as I like left, like I thought, right, now I'm going to actually have time to like figure out what I want to do. So I went back to the gym, I started eating healthy, I started planning my podcast, and to me, I don't find a podcast that creative. Like, a lot of people do find it creative. You should be proud
of yourself, innit? Like,
thank you very much.
You should be, innit? Because it's not necessarily like whether you think it's creative or not. It's like the fact that you're putting yourself out there. Like, this is one thing a lot of people are scared with. Like, people say that, oh, we live in a free world, free speech, but we don't. We do not. Like,
no.
You can't
this
say
podcast
nothing.
will be censored within a year.
Yeah, like, you
because
can't.
no one's got rules on this.
Yeah, I mean, I put something up the other day where I was just like, fuck the government, like all this shit, and it got deleted straight away.
Did it?
Oh, mate, so it was about Richie Sunak, and he was like, how he's making people, like, sacking people for not working because they're underpaid or whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, he's made it like completely illegal to strike.
Yeah, this is it.
So like 2 years ago, I remember when they first said, "Oh, you have to plan to protest," and I was like, "Well, what's the point then?"
What's the point of protest then? Like, back in the old days, mate, when you've got someone in charge and it was just like they're not doing well, like, you get them out, bruv.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
all our human rights have been changed, I'm telling you.
My mum schooled me a bit on politics though, because I do have some times where I'll get on like these mad splurts about politics, but I think of the short term sort of stuff, not the long term. And I think some things that I don't realise is that some things that funding here and there, like in a small world, like in a quick sort of reaction to that, like, yeah, it might do them good at now, but what is it actually going to do for the rest of society in the long run, like economy-wise or whatever? That's the style of politics I don't get.
Yeah.
But I always ramble on about politics. Yeah, I do not know nothing about politics.
Oh, yeah, I know fuck all about it.
Yeah, I'm just like...
Although protests, everyone should have the right to protest.
Yeah, I think protesting and having a right to talk about what you want to talk and not being shut off or censored by media is definitely an issue that we have in society today. I think it's one of those things where, like, you should be able to just say stuff without it being shut off. Like, if there's more, like, a big percentage that are feeling a certain way, which, I mean, most people probably feel the same way. Not necessarily most, but like, I feel like everyone has this sort of cloud or pressure over them because of what the government's doing right now.
Yeah.
Maybe not for, like, younger people, but adults for sure. And it's just like you don't have a leg to stand on. Do you know what I mean? It's almost like, yeah, shut up, get on with it. And it's like, that's not cool, man. That's not fair. And
we have things like social media so that people can put their opinions and what they believe in and what they want to fight for out there more. But then, you know, I work around like London's North Orbital and M25 every day. And when there's these Just Up Oil protesters, you're fucking with the wrong people.
Yeah, it is.
Do you really think all these important people are driving around the M25 every day? No. They're being chauffeured everywhere by massively. Helicopter.
Like when you're like sat in front of the M1 in a line, and it's just like, yeah, you're I get what you're doing, but you're just making me not earn money. Like you are affecting me now because I'm not actually being able to get to work and earn money, and I need to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've never had to deal with anything like that, but like I imagine people that have to go to London or on the like motorways and stuff, they have lorry drivers, whatever, like they have to deal with that on a daily basis.
I think the good thing about what they were doing is that the action part was there, but I don't think the thought process was quite there. Like, I think they had the right intentions, but it did not execute correctly whatsoever, and it only affected the people that was on their side.
Yeah, you're just pissing the wrong people off. I think it's like, I get the movement and I get what you're saying, but
like when they were attacking art, I didn't think that was a bad thing because it's all protected. Like none of it was actually getting damaged. That was, like
an egg or something. Or...
I can't remember, but I know they were basically just publicity stunts, and those things are going to be more impactful than you queuing up on the M25 and stopping some woman seeing her dying son in hospital.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, that is not okay.
Nah.
And obviously, you know, it's a very slim chance that happens, but it does, and it did happen. And it was happening daily. Like, I was driving around this road daily, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, and it was just, it was really inconvenient because they're putting they know no one's going to run them over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they were doing it, but obviously none of them got injured apart from, I think it was a police officer.
Seeing the video where some guy was, like, an old man was getting dragged out by a road by some, like, bald geezer.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you fucking doing, blah, 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 blah. And he was just like, you're not doing anything for stopping us going to work. And this guy was, like, sitting there like, no, I'm not moving. No.
Yeah, not understanding the impact on people around
society,
them.
like the people have got to go work and that. But yeah, this
Yeah,
is just
especially
politics,
right
man.
now when no one's got any money anyway. Like, we're in this cost of living crisis.
Yeah, this is what me and my mum were talking about the other day. It's like there is a lot of shit to do, like Ukraine and Russia at the moment. Like that's causing a massive issue for the rest of society. Well, the world really. And it's like you've got big rich men, like businessmen or women, whatever you want to say, like that have a lot of money and they're putting it in offshore bank accounts or whatever. But my mum did say to me in a way where it was just like, look, although you might think they'd be holding it like that or that, and it's not good, they're not paying the full taxes, but like they have to invest their money offshore so people that offshore can invest in our country, because this country don't produce shit.
Yeah.
Like, we are literally just a tiny little island that doesn't produce anything. We need investors to come from elsewhere to like invest in us. And without someone
do deals with us.
Yeah, and like without someone that's like a big rich man, they ain't gonna do that.
No.
Like, if everyone was equal in this country, or like there was like fair here and fair there, like you just wouldn't, like this country would just go to shit. Trust me. There's this, and when
we're so small compared to the rest of the world.
Yeah, we just don't produce nothing. We've got no oil here. We've got no minerals here. We've got nothing. We can't do nothing here. Like, it's literally like we
just produce more babies.
Yeah. Literally. Fuck me.
We're such an overpopulated place.
Yeah, we are. But
I literally see, like, not long ago, a couple of weeks ago, we hit 8 billion people.
What, on the planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. And this is something I was going to say earlier about how I think that. I think there was a time where, I don't know if you want to call them world leaders or not, I might be just going on a weird tangent here on a like weird theory.
I'm open to it.
I love weird theories, but I do think, like, after the World War, we had a massive surge of people, and those after the war, we had a lot of stuff like infrastructure that needed to be built up again all around the world. And like to get that done, you need people. So they sort of made this like overpopulate. And now, I don't know if anyone thinks about COVID in a way like I do, but I do genuinely think certain things are implicated to now decrease it.
Oh, absolutely.
All the infrastructure is built.
Yeah.
We don't need any more infrastructure, and now there's too many people, so there's not enough minerals, there's not enough food, there's not enough like medical care, there's not enough. Do you know what I mean? How long do you have to go to a doctor's and wait? Do you know what I mean? Hours.
Shocking.
Hours and fucking hours.
And it'll be empty sometimes.
Yeah. And it's
just no one's there. They're all busy.
And it's just, I do think like we've overpopulated to a point where we've built the infrastructure, and now we can sort of depopulate, because now we can decrease, which then spreads out.
Yeah.
Everything that we have, like we'll have more fuel, more food, everything. But if you don't decrease, it's just going to dry out.
Yeah.
Like, this planet is on finite amount of stuff. Like, it's not like constantly reproducing everything. Like, if people are going to genuinely suck this planet dry.
Up.
Yeah. So
and so many things are not as natural as they used to be.
Nothing's
like
natural.
especially in the plant in that industry.
Yeah.
Where a lot of it is grown in a certain way to meet a certain standard.
Yeah, like melons, right? Melons should be like this big, like this, but we've made them so they're like this.
What, like watermelons?
Yeah, watermelons. Watermelons are actually like this big.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but like we've made them so they're this big. Yeah. There's
I would
loads
still
of stuff
pick.
like that.
I'd still pick.
You know, like in like what's
Steroids,
yeah. What's that film called with the bunny and the weird man and there's like a wax creature and he grows his own carrots or whatever. Wallace and Gromit.
I really had to think about that for a second.
Yeah, Wallace and Gromit, and you know when he's at the patch farm and they're growing these like massive fucking vegetables, and they're having like this festival about massive vegetables. That's literally what it is, isn't it? Like they just overgrow them, isn't it?
Oh.
Yeah, it's all like the nutrients that they pump into it and stuff like that.
So bad.
That's why Jamaicans don't like westernized weed, because it's got loads of
Dodgy.
shit in it. Yeah, it's got loads of shit in it, but like bushweed's the one, mate. Like, yeah, man.
Take your recommendations off George.
Not that I've ever had Jamaican weed, but anyway.
No. Might try it one day and think, this is actually whack.
Yeah, literally. What's this shit, bruv? Oh, you don't know, man. Yeah.
So I thought I would change subject a little bit,
Yeah,
just because I do try and go by a list of questions so that I remember that I have a theme.
We'll end up going down a weird little tangent if we
No,
don't.
I do not mind. You can change it as much as you like.
No, go on.
What does independence mean to you?
Oh, independence to me. Independence means probably having the gratitude and satisfaction. Satisfaction? Yeah, with
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction, there you go. I should know that. Satisfaction with your own self, like not needing anyone. It's like I try and say to myself and some of my mates sometimes, like, truly the only thing that will make you ever happy is becoming sort of self-independent. When you are like that, you can then resonate that frequency out.
Yeah.
So that's what independence means for me. Like, I've got to make sure that I'm okay, so then I can make other people okay. But without that, like, you then become dependent on other people.
Yeah. I agree.
I think that knowledge, wisdom, teaching yourself is going to make all that happen. And I think that if you don't drive yourself to become a better you, then it's just you're not gonna be able to depend on yourself. I mean, one thing that I did that truly changed me was when I went traveling a few years ago. I went solo backpacking. I did the first month with a group and then 2 months by myself.
Where'd you go?
Southeast Asia. So I did a month in Thailand, a month in Malaysia, and then a month in Indonesia.
Ooh, nice.
We should be going. I'm going back to Thailand this year, actually, at the end of the year with Callum and Sorrel and my missus. So that'll be really good.
That sounds lush.
I'm looking forward to it. So we're going to do like over a Christmas period. But yeah, we're going on tangent.
That's a good time to go as well.
What's your favourite part in Thailand?
Favourite part? Maybe like the Koh Phi Phi or Koh Phangan. So places like all the islands are really nice. I went to a place called Monkey Island where literally you get like these little longboats there. I say little, but it's long. Little longboat. It's little, but it's long. Yeah, you get these longboats, and then literally you come up to this beach, and there's like loads of huts on it, and then like there's just bare monkeys, bruv. Like bare.
Really?
So you jump off this boat, and they're all like running at you and that, and then like there's like behind all the huts is just.
Are
like
they nice?
Yeah, they're like. I mean, some are like assholes, just like people, innit? Like some are nice, some are bad. But yeah, so you got like.
Hide your belongings.
Yeah, like literally, if you've got a hat on, you better take it off and balls it. Balls your hat. But yeah, like the only ones that I find that are a bit like temperamental is if there's like a mother and she's got babies with her.
Oh yeah,
but that's natural. That's Mother Nature.
Very natural.
But yeah, so I'd definitely say like those islands. I'd say in Indonesia though, one of my favourite places that I went to when I was travelling was a place called Gili T. I'm not going to say the full name. I'll try it, but it's like Gili Chawanga.
Okay.
They've got 3 tiny little.
Probably pronounce it better than I would.
Yeah, I don't even think
shocking
I
at
did it actually properly then, but yeah, that was like I was a struggle. I was like Chawanga. But there's like 3 islands there. Gili T is the biggest one, and then you've got 2. I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, I stayed on there for about 5 days I think it was 5 days. But you get a fast boat from Denpasar, Bali, 2 hours, and then you get off. But on the island, there's literally no vehicles. Like there's just horse carriages and bikes. Yeah, so
that's so cool.
You can bike around the whole place in like 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was incredible. But that was probably one of the last places I went to before I went back to Koh Samui, because my dad came out with my stepmom, his wife. And then, funnily enough, my brother and his missus at the time came out, and I didn't know they were coming. So we went out for a meal one day, and he was just like, "You want meat?" And I was just like, "What the fuck?" I was just like, "What did you get?" So obviously that was nice, because it was like nice. 3 months of not seeing any family, so it was really good. But yeah, like going back to the independence thing, like that really, really brought like that sense of self out of me. Like I don't think if I did that. If I didn't do it, then I just don't think I would have had that accomplishment. I mean, the second that I got on the plane and the plane took off, I literally started crying, innit? Because I was like, "Fuck!" Like
I'm by myself now.
I'm going to Bangkok on my own, and I was just like, "What the fuck do I do?" Innit? It was the only thing that made me feel a bit safer was with it is that I knew that when I got there that I was going to meet a group, and then I'd be traveling around with them for a little while, which was really, really nice. Like I don't think I would have lasted long if that wasn't planned first.
Yeah. But it's funny you say that, actually, because I had Daisy on not so long ago, and she did say about going.
Daisy's done so much travelling.
Yeah, she did recommend if you wanted to go travelling and you're a bit worried about being by yourself,
do it with a group.
Do it with a group first. Like I think she called it a retreat.
Yeah, this is it. So I went with I think the company's called ISA Travel. They do like loads of stuff. So that the month that I did in Thailand was with ISA. And then we just went to all the islands. They plan all the boat tours for you, and they do like all of that sort of stuff. So it's really not like you don't have to think how to travel, you just travel. Yeah. And then because you understand the process of traveling through
you just pick it up.
Yeah, this is it. And like Yeah, like, because they don't just stay in, like, plush hotels. You'll be staying in, like, hostels. So you're meeting other people outside that group as well. I mean, there's this, like, group of lads that I met out there that were, like, so sound, innit? Like, I met up with them, like, after that group because they weren't in the group. But even still, like, there was people in the group that was saying, like, oh, are you actually travelling for longer? Like, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to go off on our own after this? And you just say yeah or no, or, like, whatever, do you know?
Yeah.
But it's just, it does set you up for a nice travel. It gets your confidence up, but I'd say that if you want to do that, like, as much as it's good doing it with a friend or like a family member or whatever, or a girlfriend, I mean, if you've got a girlfriend, good luck, but I had to struggle with that. But yeah, you ain't gonna do it if you've got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever. But yeah, so do it by yourself. That will create the independency, is what
Absolutely,
I mean. Like,
yeah.
The
being forced into a position, even if you force yourself into it,
massively,
like just taking that, like gulping it down and just doing it,
Yeah.
it really does make you have these survival instincts that just come out, and
Massively.
you become more yourself as well.
I found that I went into this sort of like autopilot mode. Like, some things that I was doing, I was like, right, did I actually? It's almost like sometimes, you know, when you're driving and then you get somewhere, you're like, I don't even remember like driving here.
Oh
like,
my god, I get that all the time.
And I'm just like, I've just gotten here, and that's what sometimes it felt like.
Like when you blink and you're like,
shit, how did I get
how
here?
far have I not been paying attention? Have I been paying attention?
Yeah.
I have. I definitely have.
Yeah. Oh shit, there's a tree.
Yeah, when I say those things to Alex, he's like, fucking hell.
Don't tell me that.
Drive?
I remember every second.
Yeah. You're like, Jay. Literally, my missus probably feels like every time I'm kind of like, yeah. She's like, yeah, Georgia. It's Phil to you. Yeah, but nah, like it's true, and it like there were some places where I go from one island to another where it's just like, I don't even know how I got here, but I'm here. Now I'm here. Do you know what I mean? It's just that feels really nice because you know in yourself you can do it.
Yeah, and you did that by yourself.
Yeah, and like this is it. Like, you don't need to fall back on anyone. So from that, like, coming back to reality,
And you're like, fucking hell, I'm still alive.
yeah, like coming back to this sort of like reality, because unfortunately you do have to come back to reality at some point.
Ugh,
It's just
gross.
yeah, it felt shit coming
I
back.
can imagine.
It was quite funny because I said to my, I think I said to Callum and Forrest that I was just like, don't tell anyone, but I'm coming back tonight. And so I was like, meet me at McDonald's train station. So there's me walking from the train station with my backpack on, and all the boys in there. But they were too stones to like, they was, oh, sick man. And then it was just like, cool.
So underwhelming.
Yeah,
You're
and I've
thinking
just had
like a
this-
yay.
I've had this like massive mental experience, and I've come back to like the same
Normal life.
Yeah, like
Nothing changes.
Yeah, like 3 months feels like a really long time because you've gone through a lot of changes in that time. You think the rest of the world has gone through that sort of change as well, but you come back and you're like, oh, okay.
Guess nothing changed here then.
Yeah, but I'm glad I came back because I did. I was planning to do a lot longer. I wanted to do like 6 months to a year if I could, but if I didn't do that, I wouldn't come back and sorted my career out being a barber.
Mm. Oh, so you became a barber after that then?
Yeah, so sorry, I needed to come out.
I was going to turn that bit off.
That's going to be
Whoopsie.
my... what's it called? The thumbnail?
Burp o'clock.
Distortion on it as well.
Fog hornet. Yeah. Oh, can see. Yeah, no, what was we saying?
I can't remember.
But you know, you said you had to come back.
Yeah, so
after 6 months.
yeah, I was.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, that's sad. I would have called him like. But nah, like after that, like, so I wasn't a barber before that. I was actually doing construction. I did a lot of work with my stepdad, and then I worked with my uncle for maybe like a year before that. So I came back and then did like maybe 2 months or a month again with my uncle just to get my money back up. I literally had no car, so I had to buy like some like cheap like £700 banger, and every time I got in it, if it rained there'd be a puddle in the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Like seriously, the footwell, you'd get in it and your trainers were soaked. Like I was just, I need to rev it. But
my first car cost me 250 quid.
did it?
Yeah, it was
What was it?
awful. It was a CI Beefer. It was so bad.
I think mine was a Vauxhall Corsa, but like the old shit, and you know when like
the
red,
circle ones.
yeah, and you know like when the red's faded, it's starting to go pink. I had like patches of pink on my car, so I was like, right. But yeah, so I needed to get that to get to work because I asked my dad to ask his barber, which is my boss now, Craig. Good boss of mine is sound geezer. But yeah, so I asked my dad at the time to ask him if I could come back and train, because again, randomly, I had a thought when I was in Jakarta. I think it was Jakarta in Indonesia. Don't go to Jakarta, shit. It's horrible.
Save your pennies.
Yeah, it's like the capital of Indonesia. It's really, really not good. It's
like what people say about London, though. Like, you think it's really exciting in Oxford Street, and then you go everywhere else, and there's only like some nice places.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like all bad, but like from where I was going from like islands to like really nice beaches, and then Jakarta was just like rat infested, and it's just like, yeah, so that was bad. But yeah, don't go there. Yeah, I mean, go there if you want, but yeah, so
learn from it if you do.
Yeah, literally, yeah. Make sure you get your tetanus jabs. Get your jabs. Just not the COVID one. But yeah, so I was in Indonesia when that happened. I got the thought of being a barber when I was there, because weirdly enough, when I was about 14. I caught myself, like, I had this thought. I was just like, I actually used to sit there and like be like in awe about what barbers would do. I'd sit there and like, me being me, I was just like, yeah, I could do that. I could do that. I was like,
it's really artistic as well.
Yeah, this is why I love doing my job. It truly is another art form that I've like accomplished. Like, that's one thing that I could say that I'm a professional at. Like, I am a professional barber. I'm happy to say that. Like, that's good. Like, I've been doing it for long enough now. I've done my 10,000 hours. But yeah, so in Jakarta I had the thought, so I asked my dad, he asked my boss Craig, and then he just literally was like, yeah, sound like when he comes back I'll teach him, which I was massively grateful for. So yeah, so the first month of my training was like not paid. I was doing full time every single day in the shop. I wasn't paid a penny. The deal that we had is that I didn't have to pay for him to train me if I just work there free.
Like shadowed him sort of
thing.
Essentially,
yeah. So I did a lot of that, and me being me, I wanted to get good at it quick, because I'm like that with everything. He also said to me, like, look mate, like, the sooner that you get cut in, the sooner I can pay you, like, and it works out that we do 50-50 split, and then that was that. So that's what drove me. So I think it took me about 2 months to get to a point where I was like happy. I wasn't amazing at this point, don't get me wrong, but I could do like haircuts.
Yeah.
Skin fades I wasn't really too good at that point, but like old OPs, like old people, I'd do like 2 backs and sides, I'd do like clipper cuts, I'd do. But the shop was great, because like, let's say there was a clipper cut in, like they'd be like, oh, just go to George sort of thing if you don't mind, and he'd do it like a discount haircut. So it made me, you'd think that like doing like a free all over isn't necessarily doing anything for you, but
it is though.
I've never held a clipper before. I don't know how to like put the pressure on someone's head. I don't know how to do the angles.
It's so different from doing it on a plastic doll.
100%.
To then do it on a real person, because everyone moves.
Yeah, well, I never did it on a plastic doll.
Really?
Literally,
so you just jumped straight onto human beings.
Like I was just
with a razor blade.
So one of my mate Conor Marison's, he was brave enough to let me do one of my first haircuts.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you need people that are actually gonna be willing to help you to help them. Do you know what I mean? So,
and a lot of people are happy to do it, but just not at the time you ask.
Yes, yeah.
So if they're like, I'm coming for a haircut because I'm going out tonight, that's not the day.
No, everyone says they'll help, but when you actually, excuse me.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Just do can you come shop today? And they're like, We've got to have dinner tonight, mate. You have dinner every night. You know what I mean? But it's one of them ones.
True say.
Yeah, but I get it. Like, some people, like, they're just trying to be nice and they say they'll help, but the ones that do actually come, they're the ones that make a difference. Do you know what I mean? So that's nice. So yeah, so it took me about 2 months to get to a point where I was cut in, and then the thing that helped me, it was about November when I started. So that whole month, the November and December, was a busy period. So people were like, I just need a haircut, so they'll literally just let me cut their hair, and they wasn't really bothered about it. I mean, I'd say 60% of customers are very faffy about their hair, and then the other 40 are just like, oh, whatever, I'm not really bothered.
A lot of people don't actually mind too much.
Yeah, this is it. So
my hairdresser, I tell her what I have an idea of, but I'm just like, you do what you think looks good.
Yeah.
Because I just think that's the professional. They're an artist.
Of course,
like, they know what they're doing. And if I say to her, I want highlights, I'm not expecting those big, odd blocks. I know
No.
she's good at what she does.
Yeah,
And
you're not going to get no patchy haircut.
Yeah.
Whether if you did it yourself or packet one, it's either one colour or patchy.
And she always says to me like, well, we're going to do more highlights than what you've said about, just because it will look better. And I'm like, okay. And it doesn't affect the price of it. My price is always the same.
Yeah.
She just goes, and sometimes she'd put like low lights in my hair or something, and she's like, we're gonna balance it out. We're gonna do it my way. And I just let her do her thing. I think she knows best.
Most of my customers literally just come in and sit down now, like, because I've been doing it for would it be 4 or 5? It's about 4 or 5 years I've been doing it now. It's not even that long in the grand scheme of it, but like, they just come and sit down now and they just get a haircut. They don't really say to me. It's only when, like, you get a lot of kids now, like 16 and under, that are like, I want this haircut, I want this haircut. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but like,
your head is not that shape.
some people don't understand, like, just with like the direction of hair growth. Like, some people's hair goes up and down or sideways. So like, when you want this like slick back haircut, but you've got like this proper straightforward hair, like,
it's a work in progress.
Yeah, like, you can train hair.
Happen.
You can definitely train hair to do that. But like, I always say to someone, if you want like a different hairstyle, grow it out longer than it needs to be, because then I've got stuff to play with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can actually mould your head. But you might get a kid that's just had like a skin fade a week ago and he wants like fucking a taper with, and I'm just like, yeah, but your hair's not long enough yet for that. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's one of them ones. But that's just all learning. Like, you get to a point as well where you feel comfortable with addressing that. At first, when I was a barber, like, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But I'm thinking, this ain't gonna suit you, bruv. You're gonna look like a dick. But you just do it, and then, but over time, you get the confidence you need to be like, look, bro, I'm not gonna lie on it. Like, this would be better if you did this or this, and that's you then being a professional. Do you know what I mean? Because you're able to say like the information that they need to know. But I always say to anyone, like, if you want a specific style, then like, you're better off showing me a photo. That's so much better, because I can gauge like exactly what you want and how you want it style wise. So that's definitely the way to go if you want a new style.
Have you ever had a really difficult customer?
Yeah, so I'll never forget this guy. So about 4 months in, so he's still very new to it, maybe 4 or 5 months in, but he asked for a skin fade, and I was getting good at skin fade at this point. I felt very confident with skin fades. I was getting to a point where I was just like happy to do them, and I was doing people that anyway. But yeah, this guy come in, really like thick Asian hair, like swept back. He liked it all swept back and that, and he showed me a picture of a skin fade. He didn't tell me he wanted the skin fade, and obviously the first thing you do with a skin fade is you take the bulk off it and then you do the zero. And the second I'd done the zero, he was like, whoa. He was like, what are you doing, bruv? I was just like, a skin fade. I was just like, I'm doing what the photo is. I'm like, please don't hurt me. And he was like, whoa. He was like, I didn't want it that short, man. He was like, what the fuck, bruv? He was like, all like this. And I was just like, what? And obviously, I'm still training at this point. Like, although I'm cutting hair, I'm still learning new things.
Yeah.
Like,
so you aren't even confident with what you're saying at that point.
Yeah, like, I wasn't.
You're like, oh shit, have I fucked up?
Yeah. So
but no, you've gone by this picture.
Yeah, and this is it. And I said to him, I was like, mate, I'm not gonna lie, you showed me a skin fade, like, and I had to get. There's a guy called Greg, innit? He was working in the shop. I said to him, I was like, Greg, I was just like, can you have a look at this photo and tell me what it is? So, I know I'm not doing it wrong. And he was like, that's a skin fade. And then the guy sort of shut up then. Do you know what I mean? But after it, he was just like, I'd done a decent job. Like, if the person actually wanted that haircut, they would have been happy with it. Do you know what I mean? But he was just like, oh, you fucked it up, man. He was like, I'll just have to deal with it, sort of thing. And it really sort of left like a real bad stain on me.
Horrible, isn't it?
And I was just like, rah, bruv, like.
And it's just hair.
Yeah, like, honestly, mate, you say that.
It grows back.
Yeah, you say that though, but some people are like, oh my god, you fucking made me look like a cunt, like, do you know what I mean? And do you know what I mean? And you're like, all right, calm down. It's truly like. It's some people get so touchy, bruv. Yeah. Like, I just said the big C. But yeah, some people.
I think most of my guests have tried to fit it in so far.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favourite swear words, man. You fucking. You seen the old woman in her garden where she was like, "Fuck off, you cunt." Yeah. Oh, it's a crease video, mate. But Yeah, some people do leave like a real bad stain on you, and it's just like that's stuff you learn from. And it's like my boss said, he was like, look, don't put yourself down about it, mate. Like, you did a good haircut, it's just not what he wanted. And I was like, yeah, do you know what, you're not wrong. Like, I was happy with how it looked, it's just not what he wanted. So it's 50-50, and you just learn that after a while. Like I said, like, people come into my shop now, I've never seen that guy again before, but yeah.
Probably so embarrassed after his reaction.
Well, the thing is, like, when Greg came over and he backed me up, I was just like, yeah, fuck you. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. That's what you need, though.
Yeah, it was. So that was nice of him to do that. But yeah, so I don't know. You just learn stuff over a period of time, and then you understand how to do stuff better. But I'm just so grateful now that I can have my frequent customers that come, and a lot of them I'm not going to sit and say that they're my mates, but you do see them as regular people. I see some of my customers more than I do my mates. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So that's crazy in itself. But
you do build like strong relationships with people through work.
Massively. Like, I mean, even my workmates at work, like all the people that I work with, they are like a small little family, because you are with people that you work with more than you are with your family or friends.
And same with the customers. Like, I used to have really strong relationships with the customers when I used to work down the high street. And they were all regulars, all come in.
They want to know how you are.
Yeah.
They ask how your day's been or what you've been up to.
They'd walk in the shop in a grumpy mood. I'm like, tell me, what's the drama?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I try and... So when someone comes in and bad mood, I'm like, I'm going to be your therapist today. So tell me.
Yeah. And like, sometimes I'm got up to work and I'm still drunk from the night before.
Yeah.
And they're like, look at the state of you, Jamie.
I remember when Josh, man, at my work, he... There was a time, obviously, when I used to go down the pubs and stuff like that, and obviously, me being me, I used to do a lot of naughty stuff down the pubs. So there was times in it where I'd come in...
We're not going to elaborate on
that. Yeah. You can guess. Got a Charlie, mate. Yeah, so no, that was
naughty stuff could be a lot of things, though.
Yeah, no, it could be. Never with women, but just with the narcotics. But, yeah, so I used to come in bad, man. Like, I had like a heavy session at the weekend. I've gone to a rave or gone to a pub, staying up till like God knows what. Anything past 2 is just pointless. But yeah, everything was past 2. I'd come home and go sleep and dead sleep, and then go into work. And then one day, I think it was after like a long period, Josh looked at me and was like, bruv, he was like, I'm not being funny, mate, you look like a fucking crackhead, mate. he was like, you need to sort your shit out. And that switched me up. I was like, right. So that's nice of him to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that switched me up a little bit.
Because you were having a great time and you're like, oh, I'm actually not on the best path right now.
Yeah, no, like, looking back on it, and it, like, as much as I thought it was fun at the time, like, it's something that made me hit rock bottom, innit? Like, like when I was in that period, I was like very, very, very depressed, innit? Like, I'm really not a depressed guy. I don't really get like bad moods. I do, like, everyone gets bad moods. That's natural. Like, you don't have good without the bad and bad without the good. Do you know what I mean? But like, I was just really, really bad. Like, there was times that I'd think that I'd be like quite suicidal, not actually suicidal, but
you'd get those intrusive thoughts.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, your mind's playing tricks on you and shit, and it's just
you're
like,
I actually wouldn't kill myself, but I think about it a lot.
Oh, mate, there was times in it where like I'd be driving my car and I'd be like well depressed, and I'd be like, what would I do if I just drove into that tree right now? Do you know what I mean? And just stupid.
I get that a lot when I pass the A5 bridge.
Yeah. So it's just like. Yeah, bro.
And at the minute, there's some big blocks on the A5. Yeah, I'm like...
And it's just like, this is like the chemicals. Yeah, like... Whoopsie. Yeah, no, I remember driving down Wicken, innit? Like, Wicken back roads to my old house in Silverstone. And fucking... There's always this big tree at the end of the road, innit? I used to literally, like... there was times in it where I would just shut my eyes and just fucking rev. And which is stupid, bruv. Like, I could have quite literally hit the tree.
Yeah, and then you'd open your eyes like, oh no, wrong decision.
Oh shit, there's a corner. Do you know what I mean? But nah, it's silly, innit? Like, but this is what the drugs did to me at that time, innit? And it was like, I don't ever want to do that.
Brings out the worst in yourself.
Yeah, like, I know for myself now that, like, if I did want to do it, let's say, or I can just dabble in it here and then, it's not like I've got to do it, but because at the time all my mates were going down the pubs, you want to be involved, so you go down the pub, and then
the FOMO is real.
Yeah, man, and like
it's so real.
It's mate, I do get it to this day still, like sometimes, but not enough to go down. Like I mean, Christmas Eve I went down the pub, and I do get very overwhelmed now around big crowds. Like, if there's a lot...
from around here, your friendship group's massive.
Yeah, like, you go down the pub and it's just like, because I don't see anyone, like, yo Phil, like, rah, rah, and it's just like 1,001 things being spread at you.
And you feel like everyone needs you.
Yeah, kind of.
Everyone needs your attention.
Yeah, and it's like...
I just want to be there, but like...
Chill.
Yeah.
like I want to just chill, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, man, have like a civil conversation. But I understand as well, like, don't get me wrong, like, I used to be that stupid clown. I used to be the guy that would like do backflips off the pub table and shit, and fucking like, yeah, fuck. Do you know what I mean? But like, I used to be that guy, so they sort of still see me in that picture, whereas I'm gone past that now, and it's just like, I understand that
you're in a new chapter now.
Yeah, and I get that that's how they see me, but it's not necessarily who I am now. But like, I like to...
They're just memories.
Yeah, and it's like, I love conversations like this where I can sit and have a civil conversation, and it's not necessarily like fucking, I love you, mate. Yeah, but you never actually messaged me ever, so don't say that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's sort of silly stuff.
Yeah, you
like
only
that.
message me when you want something.
Yeah.
Private friends, isn't it?
Yeah, this is it. It's party friends, people that you used to do like raves with. But I love them to bits. Like, I've got a lot of time for them. Like, I'm not. I wouldn't slate them. Like,
No.
I love everyone like that to bits. But it's just some things aren't good for me anymore, so I stay away from that. And it does make you feel a little bit dormant sometimes. But I'm there, like, at home writing, making beats. I'm doing my music. I'm sitting in my car rapping, or I'm recording. Like, I told Alex before, like, I have to like fucking bounce between my room and my car to record, and it's just like.
Can you explain the process?
Did you see the video I put on Instagram the other day? With
I
the guy that was just,
I saw it. You tagged him in it.
Yeah, this is like, fuck yeah. So when I'm recording, it's so jarring. Like, let's say I've made a beat. Yeah, like, this is how I made 97. I'll run you through how I made 97. That's on Spotify, by the way. Just to put it out there.
I'll put the links underneath the episode, by the way.
Yeah, that'd be sound, man.
Like your Instagrams as well.
Yeah, that'd be lovely if you could do
and any
that.
other social media you want to do.
So I'm just on Instagram and then Spotify. I do have SoundCloud, but SoundCloud's pretty much just where I upload a private track, so I can just listen to what it sounds like.
Don't slate SoundCloud like that.
Oh, no. SoundCloud. Yeah.
SoundCloud's my fave.
Yeah, or like if I'm trying to send
But now
someone...
Spotify is my fave.
Spotify's the bad boy. Get with it.
We are no longer competitors. We are united.
Yeah. But yeah, the process of making 97 was so I made the beat, and the beat is so basic, bro. Like, with hip hop, you don't have to do too much, but this is one of the first beats that I made. This was after when you told me, it was like, honestly, bro, just make the beat and just get with it and like do your own thing. So I took that advice, went home, made the beat. And then what I have to do to record is literally, so I've got my mic, my back filter thing, and my pop mic, and pop filter, and then my Focusrite, and I had to get my dad's laptop. So I make the beat, put everything on a USB, put it in my laptop. I'd have to put everything in my car, and then, you know, like the front seats in the front of the car, I've got like my stand for my mic just balancing on it. It's not held in like these are. Like, it's literally just balancing.
These are barely
so
holding.
I'm like rocking the car because I'm going a bit too heavy, the mic will just go. Probably I should touch right there, but yeah. But the mic would literally just.
To be
fall
fair,
over.
I think these things make it easier to if you accidentally touch it,
Start
right?
smacking it up.
Yeah, you can do little.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Bit of
You'll
ASMR.
know soon enough.
Some people into it.
But yeah, like if I'm getting into it and I'm like this, yeah, and I'm shaking the car about, someone's probably thinking I'm doing some dodgy business. I'm just chilling. I can tell you a funny story about what happened one time. But yeah, so I've got to take my takes. I'll do like 20-30 takes of each verse, and then I'll get through it, and then I'll think, yeah, sweet, I've done enough, and you think you've done enough. You go back and sit in your room, and because I like to have my everything where it is, like I can have my proper headphones on, and because I can't produce the full amount on my laptop because it's like it's not the full version for some reason. I don't have all the plugins on my laptop as I do with the computer.
Yeah.
It's probably just not where they're installed, but I go back to that and then I'll be like, fuck man, none of these are good. And then like, I don't know if it's because I don't know how to do the editing as well as I could do, or this is something that I've learnt now how to do properly.
Oh yeah, it does take a lot of practice.
Massively, like you.
I still have
channel
no fucking clue, but I'm just doing it anyway.
I think half the time with producing, you're just winging it and listening to it, like, yeah, that sounds good.
Press enough buttons.
Yeah, this is it. So, and then there's times in it, like I'd bounce between the cars, and like before you know it, I've been back and forth in my car like 3 or 4 times in one day.
Yeah, may as well cancel that gym membership.
Yeah, and it's stressful, man. Like, it's so stressful. Like, I'm like, right, you're going to say this word properly now, and then you're like, do you know? Like, "Ah." So yeah, that was the process for 97, and then once I had everything, I literally just took it back into my room. Everything was sorted, and then because it was only 2 verses, it wasn't really like an intro, 2 verses, and then like ad libs and all this stuff. Like 97 is very basic, but it just sounds clean. So
I like it.
Thank you, I appreciate that. It was one of the first songs that I put out that I was a bit like, oh, how are people going to be with this? But everyone seems to like it, and everyone was like good with it, so that's cool.
That's the hardest part, is like sharing it.
Yeah, this is it.
One thing releasing it, 2 sharing it.
1 making it and listening to yourself and going, oh, is that really what you sound like? Is that what you sound like?
You got a bit of love on the TikTok as well, didn't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, I had to. I've deleted TikTok now just because I find myself strolling through it too much, and I know some people would say like, oh yeah, but you should still leave it and just put your videos on there, but I can't do that, bro. I find myself just strolling.
You should just like maybe ask your partner or ask me or Alex or something. Send us all your content,
so this is what
we'll just upload it for you.
Yeah, this is what Meg said to do. Like she was more than happy to do that. So I actually might do that.
Let her do it then.
Yeah, no, I will.
She knows.
Yeah,
she's like,
I'll let her go on TikTok and scroll her life away. That's fine, but I'm not. But nah, so. Yeah, so I probably will do that. Like, I know I need to get my marketing up, and I know I need to do like a bit more stuff and putting stuff out there.
And this algorithm changes daily.
Yeah, so I heard recently they've changed it now. Like, you can't just blow up on TikTok anymore. I think you told me.
No,
that,
you can't.
Yeah, like
it's because ads are more popular on there now.
Yeah, that's it.
People
are selling like dinosaur like slippers and stuff for like 30 quid when you can get them on like
and I
AliExpress.
find if you have 2 people in a video instead of 1, it's easier for people to pay more attention.
Yeah, they engage.
Because they're like, what they doing? Like, what they doing? Fucking about? Are they gonna
putting a firework in their mum's bedroom? Like, yeah.
Not in here.
Bang, bang, bang.
This is not.
But
we do not own the property. We rent it.
That's alright. We can paint it. It'll make a good video.
He can pay for it. I fucking can't.
Alex goes to the shop. It's November again. Yeah. Here's one I made earlier. I can actually make this bang.
There's going to have to be a part 2, ain't there?
Please make sure you go into the link, I guess, underneath the description of whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on. Go to every link, do every single kind of interaction, show some love, because we need to know that you want to see more of this stuff. And thank you so much for listening. And if you also share us on Instagram, tag me. I'll reshare it.
For the sheer scope of grief and wasted human potential, we